Your take-home salary might come down from coming financial year April 2021 as government has introduced new wage bill as per which you'll have to pay out more to your PF account, and in turn it means that you may take less money at home. So how will this thing impact employee? How will this thing impact employer? This is a very crucial and complicated topic that's going around. There are a lot of questions arising on this, especially the small sectors, unorganized sectors and entry-level employees. They will take the major hit, biggest hit out of this as the salaries are already less and the employer may not be that generous to put out more PF money from their own pocket, and these people's salary may be adjusted or may be manipulated to overcome this difference. So guys, my name is Vibin and in today's video we'll be seeing what exactly is going on, what is this wage bill all about and how will be the actual calculation ground reality on this. So in this video I will be telling you about the entire calculation, how it will be after April 2021, how will your salary be calculated with an example, and at the end of the video I'll be sharing with you few pros and cons of this wage bill and your views on what exactly needs to be done, what can be done to improve this ahead. So first of all, I will show you what exactly is the current salary structure of an employee, how he pays PF, what are the calculation in this. So as you can see, there are two tabs, income and deduction, and here I am assuming that total salary of the person is 1000 rupees per month. So here we have put basic salary as 300, HRA as 300, and there will be number of allowances. I have given all the allowances combined as 400 rupees. So here the total comes up to 1000 rupees per month. And out of this you can see PF is deducted 12% of the basic salary, that is 12% of 300 rupees, and it amounts to rupees 36. So rupees 36 is this person's deduction. There would be n number of deduction, but for now, just for convenience, I'm assuming that PF is the sole deduction in the salary. And here the PF is deducted and you can see the net take home salary goes to 964 rupees. So this is the current salary structure. This is a basic salary structure. Some of the people may have here dearness allowance and other allowances added in the basic salary. But for usual private company workers, they have basic salary as their basic component, and here is the 300 rupees given. So what is the change in this? What is the modification that government is bringing in this? So here you can see basic salary is 300. So now government has brought a bill, government has made a mandatory change where you cannot make this allowances more than 50% of the basic salary. So what they exactly mean here is the basic salary should be minimum 500 rupees and the HRA and other allowances can be adjusted accordingly. For example, here you can put as 250, here you can put as 250. So the total salary remains the same, the total cost to company over here remains the same. Obviously the PF contribution would increase and that would also be reflecting in cost to company. That we will be talking ahead, but for now you can see the cost to company still remains the same. Our salary remains intact, that is 1000 rupees, but here the basic salary have been increased by 50%. So initially it was 300, that is around 30% of overall CTC, overall salary of the month, but here you can see it has been brought to 50% of my total salary. So that is the major and biggest change over here. Government is asking that basic salary should be 50% of your total CTC. For example, if my total CTC is of 1 lakh, my basic salary should be around 50,000 in that. So what is the effect of this on PF contribution? Let us see that. You can see the PF reduction remains 12%. So now it has gone to double. First it was around 32, 36. Now it is around 60 rupees. That is approximately double of what I was paying earlier. And here my take home salary goes to 940 rupees. That is much lesser than what I was taking ahead. As you can see, this calculation is very simple. It is just that total income that I am earning a month minus the total deduction, that is my take home salary, and as my basic salary has increased to 50%, my PF deduction has also been increased by similar percentage and my take home salary has been reduced by similar percentage. So this is the overall structure that government has changed. In short, our CTC remains same, it is just distributed. The basic goes to 50% and other allowances will go to remaining 50%. So good news over here is, in addition to this, same amount would be paid by the employer as well. Till now, employer was paying around 30 rupees, 32 rupees based on this 12%. But now employer as well will have to pay double the amount that he was paying earlier. But again, it depends upon employer to employer. Some employer may take the hit, may give the benefit, but some cunning employers, most of the cunning employers I would say, especially from unorganized sectors, especially from small scale industries, they would try to rip off the employee by making changes in their salary structure. They may reduce some of the allowances and from there they may pay the PF part. and eventually it would also hit your quarterly appraisal, your yearly appraisal, and the increment that you're getting. Obviously employer will not shed the extra amount from their pocket just to meet up the government norms. They would turn the burden to you. The burden would be put on you. Your increments would be far lesser than that used to be earlier, because employer will not take the complete hit. They may just take the part of it, and indirectly they may put the burden or pressure on us. So this is a very bold step that government has taken right now in midst of this pandemic, by putting their hands in common man's pocket, by forcefully taking this money and putting in the saving account. PF account is nothing but a, can say, a saving account or a long-term account where people will be paid in the retirement period, or if in case of any emergencies they can withdraw it earlier. But again, a lot of taxes and other stuff are involved in this if you're withdrawing it before 5 years. I'm not sure what is government's motto or intention behind this. If you are aware of this, please list down in the comment section. But overall, I think this would really hamper or really bother the employee very much, because already there is a cash crunch going on. People are actually looking for more and more sources of income, and in this midst of this, if their take home salary is reduced, they would be really very much pissed off. It is helpful in the long term. People will get the benefit in long term, because PF money is something that they would be getting something around 8.5% interest rate year on year basis, and in long run they would see the benefit. But in this current period, in the current situation, this is the time when people need money in their hand. So it should not be put as a mandate. It should be optional choice. If employee want to roll on in this, they can. If they want to opt out, they can. So it should be left on the employee's choice, and government should not burden these things on them. So let's move on to the next step. I will be sharing with you few pros and cons that I have analyzed out of this. There are no much pros to be said about, but cons have a lengthy list. Let me share them with you. So the first point, positive point that we have over here is, for higher level employees, the people who are in the top of the pyramid, it is a beneficial step, because they would be getting a much higher tax relief. People who are in 30% tax bracket, if their 50% of salary goes to basic and out of that 12% goes to basic, they will have a chance of higher tax saving other than declaring HRA and other stuff. So I believe higher level employees, people sitting at top of the pyramid, they may have a edge of benefit over here. They may see a little bit of tax concession over here. So this was the only positive point that I had for this, which I got for this. If you have any positive point, please let me know in the comment section. Please don't tell me that in long term this will help. In long term it would be a security, it would be a saving, because people can do their saving themselves. They are wise enough, they are educated enough to know how to save, how to invest. I don't think government should mandate this thing on them, because certain people will have certain expenses, certain obligations, certain responsibilities where they cannot save this much of money. They need to spend, they need to do expenses for some stuff which are actually needed, which they cannot skip. If government is forcefully doing this, they're actually creating a mismanagement in individuals budget. They're actually creating a mismanagement in individuals compensation. The first con or first negative point I see in this is gratuity. Gratuity that is paid on the basic salary, that would go high, and it is totally on the expense of employer that he is paying gratuity. And obviously when gratuity goes high, it means that cost to company goes high. If company is not lenient enough, if company is not generous enough, they may hamper the employees current compensation. They may deduct some amount somewhere, and they may compensate it with the gratuity amount. So in turn, the employee needs to take the burden. So big companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, they may not do this. They are well-known MNCs. They may not go in this path. But small companies and unorganized sectors, they would surely do this. They would compensate this over and above gratuity percentage, over and above gratuity amount from the people's money, from the employee's salary. And this would again in turn reduce the salary, because gratuity is a benefit that you're going to get 5 years down the line. And in private firms, I don't think a lot of people stick around in the job for 5 years. Mostly maximum people stick around is 3 to 4 years, then they switch for the better opportunity. So the gratuity is completely waste, and if employers do this trick to manipulate their CTC, to manipulate the cost of company by taking the amount from employee salary, by deducting the amount somewhere or other, it would actually impact the employee very much. The second negative point that I've already discussed is, if employees provident fund share goes up, if he needs to pay more provident fund, if he needs to increase his percentage, if he needs to pay double of what he was paying ahead, obviously he would not be doing it from his pocket. Again, as I said, it would differ from company to company. If it's a good company, reputed company, they would pay, they would not hesitate much. But if it's a small company, if it's an unorganized sector, then definitely people will take a hit. People will have to see a salary cut, they will have to see a pay cut, they may have to see an increment cut. because these small companies, small entrepreneurs, they are not generous enough to pay this amount from their pocket. Somewhere or other they would adjust this from employees salary. So this is the biggest concern that is going around, that employers should not tamper with the employees existing package, and it should not hamper their future package as well, future increments as well. But again, it's a business, they will have to see for cost cutting, they may adjust somewhere and government may not intervene that time, because government is not completely employee centric. They may have to think from the point of view of employer as well, and there may be lot of discussions and lot of ups and downs. A roller coaster ride would be going around in this discussion when it comes to the time when this is going to be implemented. So the next point is mid-level employee may see some tax implication, because the HRA amount will go down, because they have to cut down the other allowances by 50%. So HRA would also be going down by 50%, maybe 40, 30, whatever it is. But the exemption of tax that we are getting right now out of HRA, that is around 98,000 for non-metro cities, and for metro cities I believe it is more than 1 lakh. That exemption we may not see that much. That exemption may also go down. But again, we can see some saving on PF tax as well, because PF would go non-taxable, because PF share has increased, that amount would go completely non-taxable. So we can say that this can make to it, but I'm not sure how much percentage would it make through, because HRA was one of the most important component where people were claiming for deduction, people were getting the deduction. And the last point that I see against this is this would be majorly impacting, completely impacting the people who are from unorganized sector and people who are new joiners, who are starting their careers, who are not that kind of level of employee, who are salary packages just in the starting levels, because already their salaries are much lower, already our salaries are at very bottom level. So if we're deducting this much amount of PF from their salary in the beginning itself, so what they would take home is just peanuts. So I'm not sure how things would work out, because currently we have something around 15,000 cap for PF. But if this bill is implemented, I believe that cap may not be of any relevance, because if they are increasing their basic salary, their main motto is to take more and more amount of PF. So they may remove the cap as well. So this is completely a mess now. Let us see. It's around more 4 to 5 months to go. What exact new changes they would be bringing around on this concept, and what exact amendments would be they doing to this, so that people are not completely impacted. As I said earlier, it should not be a compulsion. It should be completely on employees. If employees are preferring to save it into PF for long term, they can do this. They can opt for this. And if they don't want to do that, if they are happy with the current structure, if they are able to save more as per their will, they can do that as well. Government should not intervene that much. Government should not make any forcible implications on employees. That is the only concern that is going around here now. So guys, this was the entire process that I discussed with you right now. This is the entire thing that is going to be. If you have any questions, do let me know. If you have any suggestions, do let me know. And also let me know if I've left any pros or cons on this. If I've left out any point, please do remind me in the comment section. If you like the video, please like it, share it with your friends. I will be meeting you next time. Till then, take care. Goodbye.